and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about how I rate books. I don't necessarily think there's anything special or unique about the way that I rate books. I use the 1 to 5 star rating system that a lot of people use. But I think that most people probably have their own understanding about what a 3-star book is, or what a 5-star book is, or a 4-star book. So I figured I'd talk a little bit about that. So, like I said, I use the 1 to 5 star rating system, kind of like on Goodreads. I also use 0.5 ratings because I don't feel like only 5 ratings is enough to really give a full picture of how I feel about a book compared to another book. And also, when I don't know if a book is a 2-star book or a 3-star book, it's easier to just give it a 2.5 rating because I feel like that gives a more accurate idea about how I felt about that book. So I haven't always been good at using the whole scale. If you go a few years back, I would rate pretty much every book I read 3 stars or higher. I just kind of struggled to give books low ratings, and also I think that maybe I didn't read enough books to really be able to compare them and know what a 3-star book was to me compared to a 4-star book or a 2-star book. But over the last couple of years I've become a lot stricter with my ratings, and I'm really trying to use the whole scale a lot more, even though I feel like I still could be better at giving out especially low ratings. So most of the books that I read are 3 to 4 stars, which I feel is quite common. And my ratings are pretty much always based on my feelings about the book and my enjoyment of that book and how it made me feel emotionally. I'm not qualified to say what is good versus bad literature, and I feel like that is very subjective anyway. I obviously have my own taste in writing style and such, so I know what I think is good writing compared to bad writing. But like I said, I feel like that's very subjective, so it's just my personal taste and my personal feelings that will decide what rating I give a book. So let's get into the different ratings, and let's just start at the very top with the 5 stars. I don't give out a lot of 5-star ratings, and that's mainly because if I give a book 5 stars, that means I consider that book to be like a favorite book. And whether I give a book 5 stars or 4 stars is pretty much based entirely on how the book makes me feel emotionally. If the book makes me feel really strongly about it, or about its characters, or just makes me feel something basically, then I might give it 5 stars, even though I acknowledge that the book is maybe not perfect in other ways. I may have some minor issues with it, but the book still makes me feel so strongly that it's still a 5-star read. And it's not that many books that gives me that 5-star feelings, but it does happen more and more often actually. Only last year I think I only read like 5 or 6 books that were 5 stars. And this year so far I think I've read almost 10. So I think that means that I am getting better and better at finding those books that I'll give 5 stars to, and the books that I love. And then we have the 4-star books. A 4-star book is usually to me a book that I think is very good. I really enjoyed it, but it didn't quite give me that 5-star feeling. Maybe I had a few minor issues with it, maybe I didn't 100% love the writing, and it could also be that the book is like, I don't really have any issues with it, like I don't have anything bad to say about it, but it just didn't, I just didn't have that emotional connection with it that I need in order to give it 5 stars. But a 5-star book still means that I'd highly recommend it to others. And a 4-star is actually the rating that I use most often, which means that I read quite a lot of really good books that isn't necessarily a favorite, but that I would still really recommend and that I still really enjoyed. Now, a 3-star book to me is a book that was pretty good, but I didn't love it. There are usually quite a few things that I enjoyed about it, but there are also quite a few things that I didn't like or that I had issues with. Maybe I think the book is fine, but it didn't make me feel anything about like the story or the characters. And 3-star books I would maybe recommend to certain people. Maybe if I know that a person like those kinds of books, I would recommend it to that person. But I probably would recommend it to everyone. So a 3-star book is pretty much just the middle of the road. I didn't love it, I also didn't hate it, and I thought it was fine. And then we have the 2-star books. If I give a book 2 stars, I didn't really enjoy it that much. There were probably a few things that I kind of liked, a few things that I found was positive about it. And sometimes I will give a 2-star rating to a book that I personally didn't enjoy much or didn't like. But I recognize that it may be a book that other people will like. I don't think it's necessarily a bad book, it's just that I personally didn't like it. That being said, I probably wouldn't recommend a 2-star book to others, except maybe in really special cases. But yeah, a 2-star book is a book that I didn't enjoy, but also see that there are some positive things about it. And then finally we have the 1-star books. This is a rating that I don't give out very often, because if I give a book 1 star, it means that I didn't really see anything positive about it, and that doesn't really happen very often. I think this year I probably have given out 1 or 2 1-star ratings. So yeah, a 1-star book to me is a book that I basically think is just a bad book. I don't find anything that I like about it, and I don't find anything that I would think other people would like about it. So yeah, a 1-star book is pretty much a book that I wouldn't recommend. I would just never want to read again. I would probably unhaul right away, and I would never want to think about it again, basically. But like I said, I don't use this rating very often, so it's not actually a whole lot of books that I feel that way about. So yeah, that is basically how I rate my books. Comment down below and let me know how you rate your books. So that's going to be it for this video. I will be back with another video soon. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!